Our speakers for I'll just introduce our speakers for the day. We have Rimadoshi Lewis. She is the founder and CEO of Ardy Marketing, a well-seasoned marketer with over 15 years experience in marketing. She's also a sandbox expert and in the marketing docket. So welcome so much, Rima. We look forward to learning a lot from you. And then the next one, we have Eunice Nyandat, founder and CEO of My Biz Marketer, which is also a sister company to MBM Africa and even Ardy Marketing. Eunice has a lot of experience, over 20 years experience in marketing, and has worked a lot with startups and SMEs. So this is a topic both of these people really value a lot, unique value proposition, something they both practice in their businesses. And we love to talk about this as a business. So I'll just let them take over. So Eunice, Rima, over to you.
Wow, Penina, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Welcome, everybody. Lovely to see some of the very familiar faces in here. I can see Wangeshi. Hello. And Daniel, nice to see you here as well. I can see some familiar names that I've been seeing. Shikala's here. Rinal has come back. I remember you from other webinars that you've been joining us on. So it's just lovely to see everybody here and in good time. Really excited about today. We're going to jump into the value proposition and we're going to tell you more about it. Eunice?
Yes, hi everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's good to see all those faces that we've seen in previous webinars. Welcome, and to the newbies, welcome, and hope to see you in future coming webinars. We are super excited to talk about value proposition. This is a topic we had covered last year, but it still needs addressing as people struggle to meet their revenue and market share, goals. So let's dive in.
Fantastic. So I would love to start with, and I know Penina has already started that, but if you haven't already introduced yourself, feel free to do that on the chat. Yeah. Never know, the person who is on the other side of the chat would be your potential customer or somebody you'd like to partner with. But this is a lovely way of sort of introducing yourself, do a little bit of networking. That's perfectly fine. But yeah, introduce yourself, your name, your business, where you're from. Is it nice, sunny Nairobi, or is it somewhere else that you're at? Anything is perfectly fine. I know Eunice is not in sunny Nairobi. I hope it's sunny where you are, Eunice.
Oh, it's steaming hot over here. Yes.
Okay, good. So it's nice. Yeah, so maybe we'll do a bit of intros. Maybe take another couple of introductions if you want to also unmute yourself and introduce yourself. That would be lovely.
Take one more.
Yeah, take one more.
Yes, hello everyone.
Hi.
Hi, Gabriel.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Yes, my name is Gabriel Macau, and I'm representing a company called iPay. And basically, iPay, we are a payment gateway, regulated and licensed by the Central Bank of Kenya. And what we do, we give business owners the peace of mind on how to receive payments, be it online or in store or at the point of delivery. That's what. Thank you. And of course, as a salesperson, I'm very happy to be here because I'm looking forward now to to add value to my client and convince them to use our 360 digital payment solution. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Gabriel. And I do remember you as well. So it's nice to see you.
I remember you. And I think we even met physically, yes.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have. Yeah. Yes. Fantastic. Welcome. Anybody else would like to go? Otherwise, you can put it on the chat. Lovely, lovely, lovely to see so many wonderful people in here. We've got Joanne Karanja, CEO and co-founder of Tutadu, a tech startup in Nairobi. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
phenomenal. Chemical to
Welcome.
the Daniel Mbithi. Yeah, it's phenomenal. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Keep the intros coming as we go along.
Yeah.
We've got a little ask of you today, of course. If you can go to menti.com, and maybe when you go to menti.com, you can put this code in it and tell us what is your expectation from today, right? Maybe just put it in and say, hey, my expectation today is I just want to get educated, or, you know, I want to get to know a little bit more about UVP. I don't know about UVP at all. I mean, whatever that is for you, it could be more about marketing, whatever that expectation is. Kindly go onto menti.com and then put 215-41190. And then
Rima, that's not turning up for me.
is it not?
No. Is anybody else having trouble with it?
Let's see.
The link on the chat, try that.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Also,
Thank
check
you.
on my side if I got the code right or wrong. Also important to check. Yeah, I think I'm the one who got the code wrong. Apologies.
Okay.
I don't know where I got that number from. Okay, there we go. So yeah, we got the right code by Tanina. So the code is 90215411. I have no idea how that changed to something else. Okay, let's see. Should I give it one more minute? Let's see how I can do this. Yep, that's not it. Can pause.
So what Rima's trying to show you is the result of what we're getting through Menti. So we get to see what everybody's looking forward to from this session. Can't find it, Rima.
Yeah, I am just trying to see if I can get to the other side as usual. Sometimes technology can be a little bit confusing. View results, maybe I can do that.
Yep. Well, she does that if you can, because this is a working webinar. Please have your value proposition Canva open. If you had printed it out, fantastic. If you're doing it on your computer, just make sure you have got access to it and that you can type into it so that we can, when we get to that session, that you're not struggling or behind and trying to catch up while you figure it out.
I like this. Can you see my screen now, Eunice?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Okay. It's got new thinking to network with fellows, learn. There's something called UPV. I'm presuming that's UVP. Understand it. Want to know about it. Understand more about business, more about sales, and I think that's great because whatever we're doing here is really like to reach out to the customer. So that's actually brilliant. Okay.
So for the most part, everybody's looking to learn. Learn seems to be the biggest word there, meaning a lot of people have put in learn.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Welcome.
Eunice, I don't know whether you can see the second one now.
Let me go back.
What are your challenges and pain points?
So what we can do is hit next question and it will bring you that next question and go ahead, submit your answers there. You can write a sentence, you can write a word, you can, and here you're inputting the pain points your customers experience or you experience trying to get to your customers.
Okay. So yeah, that we've got in front of me now. Unifying my products, defining my unique, too many players in my space. Great competition. Let me just keep seeing if I can actually okay, good stuff. Keep that coming, because this is good information that we know, and when we understand your challenges and pain points, it's easier for us to focus on those while we're doing the webinar with you, right? So that's important, right? So let's just keep that coming.
Awesome.
Okay, again, let me just go to presentation mode. Fantastic. Great. So thanks for that, guys. I mean, this is really important as we go into it. Really want to understand your business and marketing pain points and challenges as we do this, because this is where we are. We are MyBiz Marketer as well as Ardy Marketing. What we do is we help organizations with their marketing needs. And when we understand your marketing needs, we're able to better serve you as well, right? So that's definitely helpful. Okay, going ahead. I wanted to also let you all know that marketing is not just promotion as everyone will feel, right? So marketing is not just about doing the advertisements and so on, or just the brand awareness. Marketing is much bigger than that. As you can see here on the screen, we've got 7 P's of marketing. Marketing includes value for price, so putting price together. So remember thinking about value as price, thinking about the evidence, how do you show your clients the evidence that you're able to do what you say you're going to do. It's all about the people, whether it's internal or your customers or your stakeholders. Marketing has a say in that. Once we create something, once we are able to understand the buyer persona, we're able to then target the market much, much better. And that's also part of people, understanding your buyer persona, understanding your product. You can have various different products for various different UVPs for different products, and understanding the process. So your customer experience is the biggest part of marketing, and we want you to understand that aspect as well. So you can see all these parts are a crucial part of marketing when you go into it. Yep.
Right. So when you to get to your value proposition, these are the 4 things you probably understand. There's more to this, but basic background, this is what you're going to need to understand. The geographics. The reason you understand the geographics, because when you're targeting as that certain geographics, and you have to understand it. The demographics, the psychographics, and the behavioral. The reason you do this is that when you're articulating the value proposition of your customer, certain regions have certain cultural quirks that you would cause you not to get to your message, not to get to your customers just because of the way you said it. For example, if you were using a certain English language and wanted to target completely that a certain segment, and they use like Pidgin English, and you wanted to use that, understanding that geographic and how they use that English, Pidgin English, would help you connect better. But say you didn't, and you go in marketing and you're using a full-on Oxford English, as we sometimes Kenyans like to do, you might miss the market, not connect with that market just because of that. So that's just an example of a geographic quirk that you need to understand. But there's many, many more. So when you go into doing your research, first of all, you're launching, say, your fintech product, going into a certain market, please completely understand all the nuances of that geographic location, all the nuances of the demographics you're targeting. If it's a certain age group, say 45 to 55, how they like to be addressed. And then if there are certain professional doctors, how do they like to be approached? Or e-commerce platform vendors, how do they like to be approached? Then the behaviorals, how do they like to buy? So please completely do your research. And this is a continuous process, so keep doing it so that you gather as much data as possible so that you can continue to refine your value proposition.
Absolutely, Eunice, and that's really important. So again, all this data then plugs into your buyer persona that we've talked about, right?
Yeah. Yes.
If you understand and if you create that buyer persona, you understand your target audience much better. If you did miss the webinar that we did last month, we actually created the buyer personas. If you go to any of our YouTube channels, either from Midas Market or Ardy Marketing, you'll be able to see that. And I think on the descriptions, you'll probably have like the download link for the template for the buyer persona so that you can create your own templates for this. But again, really crucial part, reasons why we're highlighting this is because a UVP is not something that you coin out of the air. It really is after you've understood the pain points and challenges and understood your target audience really well. The way Eunice took you through the 4 other bits on demographic and so on. Okay.
So the customer stages are, say, for example, you're bringing a new product into a new market, or you're bringing a brand new product into market. You go through the stage of customer discovery. Who is the customer that wants to buy this? This is why we're talking about the demographics and graphics and behaviorals and all that good stuff. That's the discovery journey. You want to do this. So you want to go out, maybe even stand in a mall in a clipboard and you're talking to customers. Would you buy this product? Why would you buy it? So that's the customer discovery. That gives you that data of geographics, because you're going to ask, okay, so if you're going to buy this, where would you be buying this? Where do you live? Getting that information. That tells you who your customer is going to be. Now, the validation of it is when they actually purchase, and they say they'll purchase, right? It's one thing to say it, it's another thing to actually buy it. So yeah, so sometimes your friends will say, that product of yours, I will buy that, I can buy that, but they never do go on and buy it. So that means that's not your customer. So validation is when they actually buy it. You've matched the problem to the customer. The customer has completely understood that you are solving the problem. Now, the customer creation is when that customer now continuously buys. Now we're in business. The customer is bought one product, come back and bought another. You're maintaining that retention. So that's the step we all look forward to, where we're having repeat customer with the least amount of friction. Bear in mind that friction never goes away. Sometimes there are objections. Customers find something else in the market that is a big competition, but totally doesn't meet them. But because it's a shiny new object, they're swayed. But some will come back because your product properly fixes their problem. That's when now we lead on to the company building. With customers, with the revenue and growth, you've got the product, you've got the process, you've got the profit going on, and the people to help you grow the company. Now your company building. So every time you're bringing a product to market, this is the steps you want to take. That discovery, the validation, and then work on the customer creation. And as you go on, you're always in the customer creation and company building process to go to revenue and to gaining market share.
Yeah, thanks, Eunice, for that. It's any business, if it goes through these stages, it's really important, like you just mentioned, whether it's a completely new idea or penetrating into a new market, this is something that you need to do to get that product market fit. Is it the right product for the right market, right?
Yes.
So that's the most important part.
Absolutely.
And this is part of growing your brand as well. So as a brand, as a product, or as a brand, as a company. So that's really important to know as part of this. So unique value proposition, here we go. All these are stages that we've set as a foundation to get into the UVP. So what is a unique value proposition? What is a UVP? Anybody want to answer that question? Maybe you already know about a UVP or unique value proposition. You could either put it on the chat or you can unmute yourself and answer the question. Let's see.
how do we define, or how do you define the unique value proposition?
Yeah. Okay, great. You could say, I don't know. That's okay as well.
I know, right?
You can totally say that I have no idea. I don't know what a unique value proposition is, and that's okay, because that's where the reasons why we're here. I don't know why this happened. All right, so
Or type in what your value proposition of the company you work for is. And then by the end of this session, we'll try and figure out if they've got it right.
okay, Brian says, bring what you bring to the table. Wangeshi says, UVP is what differentiates your business from competitors. Excellent. That's good stuff.
And I'd preface by saying that, you know, just because one was written a year ago or 5 years ago, if you're not hitting your targets for revenue or market share, it could be time to refine, rewrite, rework it.
Okay, Monica says UVP is basically what problem is your business solving and who for. That's great. Unique solution that identifies that solves a customer's problem. That's phenomenal. Great, thank you. Hey, Diana from Eldoret, welcome. Sorry, someone needs to make me co-host again because I can't share my screen.
Oh, sorry about that. Nina, I'm not able to make a co-host. Could you? There you go. Sorry about that.
Thank you very much. That's fine. Okay, so going ahead, it's all good. I love the suggestions everyone's given. It's really good.
Yep.
So UVP here is a clear statement that describes the benefit of your offer. What is the benefit of the offer? Remember, customers don't buy the product itself. They buy the benefit. What is the benefit to them? How are you solving the customer's needs? So there's a need that the customer has, not a want, but a need. And you're solving that. You can put that as a part of the statement. And what distinguishes you from the competition? So a lot of you people said, how do I stand out from the competition? That's absolutely correct. How do you distinguish yourself from the competition? Okay, yeah. So your UVP is that clear, absolute statement.
Yeah. So value proposition in a business or for an individual is that thing that it's that statement put in words that when you speak to somebody and they ask you, what does your company do? So we're a fintech that is solving the payment processing for merchants in Kenya, right? Instantly, that person connects with, oh, if I need a payment processing facility, these guys would get it. But what is that unique value proposition? Why would I use your company instead of any other company, right? That statement has to convince your customer instantly, right? Whether they hear it from you saying it or they read it on your website, they can instantly connect. Consider what other value propositions that you've heard from companies like Uber or Apple or whatever. Do they resonate with you? Would you buy from them? To think about that when you're thinking about that statement, and when you speak to somebody and talk to them about your company, listen to the words you're using and watch the person's reaction. Do their eyes light up, which means they've connected, or it's like it's just went over their heads, which means that there's something missing. That statement needs reworking, right? So that statement has to convince your customer completely, each and every time. And if you redefine your product and improve your product, and there's certain benefits to that product, that maybe that benefit would capture the customer better than what it was before, then it's time to rework and rewrite it again.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's okay. It's not cast in stone. You can always keep refining it as you go along, as you get to know your customers a bit better.
Yeah.
So another idea of the UVP is that it's a short statement.
Yeah.
Right. It's not something very lengthy. It's not an entire paragraph. It's a short statement that actually explains exactly how you're differentiated. Yeah. And how you're actually, standing out. Remember, UVP, uniqueness, is how you stand out. Yeah. Right. So from your competition itself, but also remember that the benefits are really important in here. So one of the things that we were talking about for our business, for example, is we help startups and SMEs. And one of the things that they would like to get is have more effective way of getting to their target audience, right? So what we say as part of our value proposition, and it's a work in progress because we want to keep doing this, is we create that brand awareness and the presence for startups and SMEs to effectively reach their target audience. Okay, so effectively reach their target audience. So think about things like those, like what is it that will make you actually stand out in terms of propositions? Okay, so your value is important.
Yeah.
There's two values in here that you can think about. One is your company value, which is the entire business of yours. So that could be one value proposition. The other value proposition is the product value proposition. So you have different products, and each of these products would have a different value proposition, and that's okay, right? Sometimes you can even have different segments. So a product, one product, but the way that you actually approach it to each of these different segments is different, right? Yep. So your value proposition can change for even one product, but for different segments. So you can have one for a particular company and then the various ones for the different products and services that you do have.
Yeah, let me highlight that. But the value statement or your UVP is not the company mission. It's not the company mission. It's completely different. So this is totally focused on the customer, while the company has a legacy or a mission of maybe changing the world, but that change in the world doesn't resonate to your customer. But your product, which means it's going to make my life easier, me as your customer, that statement then has to read with the language that I understand it. So that's the difference between the value, the missions, and the UVP. UVP speaks to the customer directly.
That's great, thanks. Yeah.
So the musts, oh yes, they are musts. So think about what the pain point is that you're solving. I'll go back to the payment processing. I have an e-commerce platform. I need customers to pay online because it's an online, it's a digital space. So how do I collect, how do I make a payment? And as a vendor, how do I collect that payment and make sure I actually get it? So the company that works to solve that problem is listening to the pain points of me trying to sell to customers in a digital era. The customers are all over the country, or all over the continent, or all over the world. They need to be able to use their whatever payment entity that they use to pay me. So you have understood as a fintech company in the payment processing center that vendors want to be paid, how they'd like to be paid, the length of the transaction, understanding the nuances of currency. So completely understanding my pain point will be that pain-focused articulation of getting to the value proposition. Now, the desire to solve a pain problem sometimes would be the best to go with, because in general, it captures everything, and it captures the market, understands the market, the business case, and it understands the goal of the customer. What I'm trying to instill here is that you think of the overall problem that you're solving in its entirety, not just the nitty-gritties of taking a credit card to pay or taking a bank card or to use M-Pesa. You're thinking of everything that your vendor customer has to experience, currency fluctuations, whatever, certain things like that, so that you're able to solve the problem in every bit possible, as much as you can, to keep your competition at bay and to differentiate yourself. So being specific, maybe saying, I'm going to just work on the customers that do electronics, is then you've gone to the extent of understanding what the electronics market is about and how people then consume electronics and how they buy. Consider electronics, you buy once in maybe 5 years. If you bought a TV, when's the last time you bought a new TV, right? So that transaction, your understanding how people buy electronics helps you then address your customer's pain point. They want to be able to sell more TVs, but because they can only sell one TV to a customer in a span of 5 years, what else are they going to struggle with? So please understand all the gaps and the pain of the customers beyond what you do, meaning the payment processing, to the extent of their market. So that way you're able to address their pain point. I hope that is clear. I know I put in a lot of information there, but just, yes, understand the entirety of the market.
Yeah, I love that. And here's the thing that just to add to that is because we want to understand what the majority of the people, what is their pain point, right? So that's now where that continuous sales will come in from. Yeah. Remember, one of the things that you all mentioned as a part of the pain point and part of the focus for today is how does it link to sales? How does it actually link to sales? Yeah. And so you need to know that once you're putting that value out, it's so easy for the customer to just make an inquiry because it actually hit the spot. It's so simple. The other thing I think I want to just highlight and part of this is that a lot of times it's not simple. It has to be simple. Don't do jargon, because sometimes we go technically into a lot of the jargon, but then the jargon is not what your customer understands. They understand how that would actually, all these features that we're talking about, how they would benefit them. And that's what's important, which is what we're going into right now. So some of the questions you want to ask in your UVP is, what product or service are you selling? Who should buy that product or service? Again, back to the buyer persona. How will buying your product improve the customer's life, or their life? How will it improve it? Why should the customer buy from you and not your competitor? Okay, again, the UVP in there. And then when will this value be delivered? So again, people are buying value and not just the thing. Again, I will talk about the statement is pricing is never the place where you want to put your uniqueness. If you say I'm the cheapest, again, it's not a place. I mean, people don't actually see the cheapest value. People see more of a reputation. People see more of, are you able to deliver what you're saying you're going to deliver? People do not mind paying for that quality and value. So you never win on a price war, guys. So it's never about the price. It's really about the value and how you're able to deliver that value. And that's really important.
Cheap is expensive. Yes, it is. Yeah.
Fantastic. So
so why should you have a value, unique value proposition? Bottom line is you want to grow, you want revenue, you want to keep, and you probably expand and hit that perfect product market fit we've been talking about. Honestly, that it makes your job easier. If you're a salesperson or the CEO or the marketing folks, if you've articulated the value proposition, the job of doing marketing and sales then becomes easier. You've got the right message. You've got the, your value proposition connects directly to to your customers. So of course, this is why you should have it. So those benefits that customers look for, you've articulated them so well that even the customer objections are diminished, and completely it removes that friction of trying to sell. We're trying to convince an Eskimo to buy ice. Consider he lives where he lives and you're trying to convince him to buy ice. What is the unique value proposition of the ice you're selling that Eskimo? So think about that. And it may be not that unique. It may be the way, the words and the benefits of the ice that you're selling to that Eskimo would convince that Eskimo, well, their ice must be better than mine, right? So that's what you're looking for. And that's why the unique value proposition is important. It makes your life easier.
Right. And I think just want to add as part of this is the value proposition that you have for your customers and the customer segment will be very different from what your value proposition will be for the investors or partners. Exactly. Very, very different, because investors are looking for something completely different. A partner in your business, whether it's a direct partner or, you know, like just a partner to help you deliver to the like end user, so on. They're all looking for a particular way that they're connecting with your business, and if it's actually beneficial to them. So again, their benefit as an investor or a partner will be very different from how you would say to your customer would be, right? So that's what some of the UVPs could be as well in here.
Yep.
So here's some examples, right, that Eunice and I are going to go take you through. One of the ways we always say to our customers where you need to put your UVPs is on the top fold of your website, right? So on the
landing page, or a landing page of the product you're selling, or the landing page of the product you're selling. So if you've got a portfolio of products, each product has its value proposition, right? So this is where Rima was talking about the company and the product. So we're looking at Zoom's a landing page, Florist video, clear audio, instant sharing. We're on Zoom right now. Do you think that they've completely captured all our pain points we want to share? We want you to hear us loud and clear. And then the video is not messy. It's crisp, clear. It doesn't pixelate. So I think they've reached that. And if you know the Zoom story, the Zoom founder came from WebEx. And if you've ever used WebEx, back in the day, they struggled in getting this pain points sorted.
Yeah. So here's some of the ones that you want to look at. So when Zoom, and we know that Zoom, where we are right now, but when we were actually starting up somewhere when COVID started, this is one of the things that happened, right? You know, Zoom's competitors. Do you I mean, some of the competitors that you can think about right now?
Yep.
Who are they? There's Google, of course, it's Google.
Yep.
There is
WebEx. Teams, somebody say, Daniel, thank you.
There are Teams, yes. Anyone remember Skype? Skype was something we used to use all the time. Yeah. But what were some things that the customer was saying? Customer was saying that I want flawless video. I want clear audio. I want to instantly share something. Yeah. Like right now, I am sharing my screen, right? The perfect way, even if you go into meetings right now, right? Yeah. Your videos may not be on and you're only on audio. However, the thing that you can do is screen share, just like the way I'm doing right now. And we're all able to see the document right in front of us, discuss it, and we move on, right? So those are some of the things that are the highlights. And again, best way to think about a UVP also is what are your customers asking for? Again, their needs. And if you're directly connecting with those needs, it's really now you're hitting that value onto it. Yeah. Here's another one by Uber, the smartest way to get around. And Apple, iPhone, anyone who has an iPhone, the experience is the product. Do you believe? I don't know. I'm an Android person here, right? Is the experience the product? That's what they say. Experience is the product. So these are just some of the examples that we wanted to highlight. Again, this is the value proposition. I'm presuming everyone has it. This is what we're going to go through in the next 2 minutes.
Yes.
But I just want to give you some, Eunice, you can probably take us through a few of those examples that we have. And then we can take them through what this value proposition canvas will do for them and how they can come up with it. Yeah.
All right. So go back to the canvas, please.
Sure. 1 second. There we go.
So this canvas makes your generating of a UVP so much easier, and I love that it's visual. I'm a visual person, so those who are visual probably will appreciate this more. I think you also got another that has a different way of presenting it, but here's how you go about this. So you look at your customer, and you want to think about the problem of which you're solving, and think about the customer and ask yourself, what have your customers said they want? And then think about what their fears are and write them down. And then what their actual needs are. Because I could want a Lamborghini, but I can't afford it. But even in the streets of Nairobi, it's difficult to drive a Lamborghini. They're very low, and sometimes we have all these potholes. So yeah, but that is a high level customer want kind of thing. So you would probably say, Eunice, you probably don't need a Lamborghini. You maybe need the Mobius. The Mobius is that car that's made here in Kenya. It's all terrain. It can go on the streets all the way to the farm. It's perfect. Then think about what my fears are. My fears are, hey, how do I show you I've arrived? I want to show you I've arrived by driving a Lamborghini. But the fear is that I don't trust that the Mobius is the right car for me. It's not in the market. It doesn't have this class or status that the Lamborghini has. And maybe that even comparing Mobius and Lamborghini is, it's completely wrong here. But just think about how customers think and how they rationalize why they're purchasing something. And I completely am off the mark trying to even think I'll drive a Lamborghini. So think about that. So if I was a fintech company, what are the customer fears here? Fear that the cash will not get to me, the customer will not be able to pay. That means I've lost the customer. Think of all those things that happen in transactionally with your customer, why they fear to purchase or even work with a fintech company. And then address their needs, and then think about what their needs are. If the needs are taking payment, period. That's it, taking a payment for the goods purchased. But what do they want? They want growth, they want sales. And that's the difference between needs and wants. The wants are nice to have, but they can't be had. Can't have them until you've addressed the needs. So that's how to think about it. I'd like for somebody to, if there's anybody who would like us to use them as an example, pipe up and say, and unmute yourself and tell us what your product is, who your customer is, and we can start talking through the fears, the needs, and the wants before we go to experience, which is what your customers experience from you and your competitor, and the features that you then have developed to solve and make sure that the experience is great, and the benefits. And you always want to look at the benefits more than the features, because the features may not be what converts or removes the objections. The benefits are. Anybody want to try? Don't be shy. However you've done it before, it's fine. This will just help you tease out a little more information and help everybody understand it as we do what I would call a live case study.
Okay, let me go.
I can. Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, Sheila, you can go first. I don't want to look like the fool as the first one.
Oh, nobody's a fool.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Go ahead, Marion.
Oh gosh. Okay. My name is Marion, and I am a lead consultant at Majestic Events, but that has kind of changed. So what my client, I have a client and they own a restaurant.
Okay.
And the service that they take for me is they need marketing, what I do marketing strategies for them.
Mhm.
And what that entails in terms of the features is why it's important to them in terms of the benefit. They don't have the money or the time to do the marketing themselves.
Okay.
They're so engrossed with running the restaurant, getting it off the ground. And what they've done is the manager is doing everything, literally everything.
Yeah.
So when there's an HR problem, they're doing a HR problem.
Yeah.
When there is problem in the kitchen, they're doing it. Marketing, just post on social media. Even you can post on social media. And so the manager is the one who actually sought me out after I did a launch for them, which ended up being more of a marketing job than an actual execution of an event. So that's the client.
Okay. So I hear the customer wants somebody to do the marketing for, the customer wants to do marketing, right? I hear the fear of not being able to get customers into their restaurants because they've not had time to focus on their marketing or don't even know where to start with their marketing. And the need is for a resource, and the resource may be an expert, a person who actually executes their marketing strategy, because you could write the strategy and then have nobody to execute it, right? So their experience is that it's not gotten done, and the experience has been that we've launched and we have no idea what to do, and we need somebody to figure it out for us. And if they've ever had another business, they know that the challenge of marketing is one that they cannot take on themselves, and they've actually experienced another person solving this for them, and that's why they're receptive of you. So the benefits you bring to them is the expertise, the execution, the structure, but the features you're providing for them is the sitting down to do the work of identifying all the stuff they need, right? Which they would not know what is needed. Consider that. So your features are making sure you talk to the customer, making sure you get all the information, you get the customer data, their customer data, that is. You get the strategy and the messaging right to who the customer is, and you then go ahead and execute. You could be executing, you could write the strategy, and then you could be executing. And the benefits of this, that the work gets done. The work gets done. Remember again, that they may want a bunch of things. If you go back here to the want thing, they may want a bunch of things there, but you cannot achieve them because of their limited budget. So you have to really always focus on their needs, so that even when even when you complete a transaction or you complete a business cycle with them, they are satisfied. Because if you try to achieve all their wants, you're gonna miss the mark. You always want to focus on the needs. And the reason you look at the wants is because from that, you can articulate the fears. The wants tell you what their fears are. They fear not making money. They fear the business closing. They fear that it's not going to gain traction. They've invested so much. Those are their fears. And they tell you, oh, we want 10,000 customers. We want $1 million in revenue every month, or 2 million in revenue. Those are wants, but they don't mean you're going to be able to accomplish them. What do they actually need? They need somebody to articulate the marketing message, identify the customer, and target and promote to them completely. And that's where your benefits are derived from. Does that make sense to everybody? Or do you have a question that you feel that I've not answered completely? And Marion, because I know you very well, I kind of know how you work. I know you got this, but now you understand needs and wants, and
Yeah, and I wanted to also throw in another really random, not really random, but like an old example of
Yeah.
Ford, Henry Ford.
Yeah.
When he was asking his customers what they wanted a faster horse, right? But what they really needed was to get from point A to point B in the fastest way possible, right?
Yeah.
But their fears in here were they didn't want to fall off. They needed safety, they needed security, they needed maybe a little bit of comfort, whereas a horse was not able to provide that.
Exactly.
Right? So your want in here is a faster horse. Your need in here is to get from point A to point B in the fastest way possible. And the fears in here were the ones that we're talking about, where they would probably fall off. It's very uncomfortable. I don't know how to sit with my dress on a horse.
Exactly.
Yeah. So those are some of the things that were with the fears, right? So that's one aspect of the customer that you're getting to know.
Yes.
On the other hand, I love this particular example to explain features and benefits.
Yeah.
Again, it's a completely different example, but I think that maybe, and hopefully this will actually help to understand it a bit better.
Yeah.
Is that on your phone, you have the camera, right? And nowadays we can't do a phone without a camera, right? And then now they have all these features in it that the camera is a particular kind of power. I don't know what power they are. They have a selfie mode, and some of them have like, I don't know, 4 different little lenses that are there and so on, right? So those are all the features that we're talking about. Feature we're talking about is that the battery life, it's the batteries, I don't know how many MAHs, I don't know what they call it, right? So those are the features that are there. But the benefit to me is that I will not be able to, I don't need to charge my phone for the next 2 days.
Yes.
It's going to last me this long. So that's my benefit. And my experience of it is that I have no issues walking around, and I don't have to walk around with my charger plugged in anywhere that, that I need to go. My benefit also is I have, the selfie. I can take great selfies. My experience of it could be that I can show off those on my Instagram pages with beautiful lighting and so on. So the experience aspect of it is that. So your feature is now your camera. Your benefit is the great selfie. Your experience of it is that you can show it off to all your friends, because that is most important. My need in here was a fantastic, I mean, you could be an influencer, and you influence your people around you anyway, right? So then you want to make sure that that experience comes out and that need comes out, and now that's connected directly from the customer to the product.
Brilliant example. And you might struggle, but that's a good one because it shows you exactly how this is broken down. When you're thinking about your services, try and use that framework and use this framework to garner that information. So what Rima is saying about her phone is that her experience has been, phone will die. So when I buy a phone, I want one that has a battery power that lasts longer. I take pictures for Instagram. I want to make sure my Instagram pictures are great. So the customer's fear is that the pictures won't come out well, that they won't look good on Instagram. That's their fear. And their fear also is losing the photo. That phone have the capacity to hold all my photos, and will it be powered enough? So if you think about your product, look at it from the lenses of your customer, and honestly to goodness, you will then be able to address those create that value proposition that connects them, because now you understand what the experience they're looking for and what they fear. So when you're creating words, say like iPhone says, we give you 4K pictures. The picture clarity, if you have a pimple, you're actually gonna see it. That picture clarity is that great. That means iPhone has thought about how we want that photo to come out. Anybody else want to try? I think we can do one more
Okay, can I?
Yes, please.
Wow.
Quickly.
Okay, so it's the game, the Gonga,
Yeah.
the game. It's a
Yes.
fun, interactive outdoor game.
Yes.
So for young and old, so what's the want? People want to bond and connect.
Mm-hmm.
What's the need? An activity that will get them to have fun, bond and connect. I don't know about the fear. I don't know. I was trying to think about what's the fear.
Fear, could that be when you talk about wanting to bond and connect? Is the fear is we're losing the connection? We're losing.
Oh, yeah, great. Okay. Losing connection, and also we're all on our gadgets. Everyone is, Is
so
that
bringing people back?
Yeah, bringing people back from their gadgets. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So we're good. So what's the experience? Wow. The experience is people, having fun, enjoying the company out in the sun. It's an outdoor game primarily.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
So the benefits are the bonds that people create that create because of using this game, right?
Yes. Yes.
That bond winds up being then, translate into experience by bringing those endorphins, the wellness feeling, the good feeling of I'm hanging out with my family and friends, we're having a good time, the reduction of stress. So those are all the benefits they're deriving from this. So now, does it feel easier to do the Canva now?
Yes, it does. I think I am now. I get it. I get it.
Awesome.
Okay, I can see someone is saying in the chat, I know about Gonga, could boredom be a fear too? Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. Boredom is a big fear.
Yeah.
A big fear. Yeah. All right.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, dear. Thank you.
Great. I love the examples. Thank you guys for taking part in these. What we're going to do now is going towards the end of this presentation. We want to take you through some of the VOP templates or formats that you can probably follow.
Yep.
With all this information that you've actually garnered and gathered in the canvas, that'll help you to put these templates and your UVPs together. All right. So these are some of the examples. One is problem, solution, result. So for example, the problem here is most businesses' websites confuse their customers. That's a problem. Then Customer Getter uses a framework that helps companies organize their message. That's a solution. And so people listen. So that's the result. So what is again, the problem, solution, results. Another one is my product is the one that ... so you ... right? So again, example here is my lawnmower services is the one that tests your soil and applies fertilizers when needed. So your lawn is always in top shape. All right, so that's another example. Here's some few examples. I know there's a question about if we're going to share the slides. We will share the slides, so it should be okay for you.
Yeah.
Another template here is we help X to do Y by doing Z.
Yeah.
Again, example here is we help couples enjoy their retirement by taking off their finances under one roof, and so on. So we've got several different examples of, again, customer problem solution, your primary differentiator, what, how, why. So these are some of the templates of examples of UVPs that you can create for yourself. Again, remember, you can have one for your business entirety, and then you can have different ones for your products and your services and different segments as well. Like we said, it could be then what you do for your customers and what you do for your investors or partners as a UVP will be very, very different.
Yeah.
So these are some of the examples that are in there. So whatever you put out from the canvas, this is now what you can do. What we would love to do is we'll share our email addresses, and please feel free to share with us your canvas, download it, put it together, and then share your canvases as well as your UVPs. And we don't mind giving you
Feedback.
some feedback around it, right?
Yeah.
Like I mentioned, if you have not gone through the buyer persona, this is what we did last month. It's on our YouTube channels. Feel free to go and watch that. So you can help, that can help you to create your buyer persona.
Yep.
What we have next month is customer experience.
Mhm.
You know that customer experience is the biggest marketing tool, right?
Yep.
So your various touch points, how your customer experiences your product and service, and we've already gone experience as part of our canvas today as well. So feel free to register for that. It's on the 22nd of September, again, same time as today. It's on a Thursday. Yeah, so this is what we have towards the end of it. Again, I know we're kind of a little bit out of time, but we will answer your questions. However, we do want to hear your feedback. How do you like our webinar today? How do you like our services? How do you like our presentation? Is there anything else that you'd like to hear from us as well? What would you like to hear in terms of titles for the next webinars that are coming in? You can either scan this QR code in front of you. There's one for ourselves and one for My Biz Marketer. We love to hear from you, and we are super encouraged when we hear from you, so that we know that we can carry on with this. We don't like these webinars. Please stop. We will stop. But yes, I mean, this is what we're doing. This is what we're helpful with. But as we're doing this and as we're going ahead, we can answer some questions. So we're here for the next 5 minutes or so. Anybody with any questions, you either can unmute yourself, or oh no, I promised you email addresses, so you can actually screenshot this. These are my email address and Eunice's email address. And like I said, feel free to send us your canvas and your unique value proposition statements, and we're happy to look through them and give you our take on these as well, right? So no. Brenda, you raised your hand. Hi, Brenda, nice to see you here.
Hi, nice to see you too, guys.
Yeah.
So for me, my question is, as you've gone through the value proposition, so is it safe to say that the value proposition could change from time to time? So now, does this mean that for this specific period, if we are, for example, working towards these goals, we can have a specific UVP for that goal, in as much as we have one UVP that's still the company VP, but for different maybe seasons as we go through? So does this mean that even the company UVP might change with time?
Yes. Reason being is that you constantly are improving your products and services, right? You're adding on or removing, and sometimes some features. For example, if you had a product, I know Brenda very well. I know your products. I know you're constantly improving. The value proposition to a certain product could change. You have found and you have done a new formulation that improves certain something, right? So the unique value proposition has been derived from the fears and the needs of your customers, saying your customers have said they wanted this, but your product didn't quite address it. Now that you've got it to address that, that unique value proposition has to be then refined and rewritten and then put out there, so that the customer knows the value of this product, of the services, of the product and services you give me have improved, and that word connects. So for example, I help founders build businesses, right? What's their fear? That their business will not succeed. If I said that we're doing X, Y, and we're doing the following service to help you make sure that your business succeeds, and that solves the problem, but then I improve on it, I can say that now we do this and that and the other to help you remain successful, help you reach product market fit, help you go to market better. So that way, that's why you have to keep reworking, refining, because it has to totally keep addressing your customer needs. It has to really hit those customer needs. Otherwise, they're not buying from you, right? Or a competitor comes in, for example, think about the taxis that we had all over Nairobi and all over the world. Uber came around and totally gave a new value proposition to folks. on my phone, I can even see where the cab is. I can see the guy going the wrong direction. I can say, hey, you're going the wrong direction. With the other taxi services, you couldn't. You were blind. You didn't know. Even when he showed up, you didn't know who he was. So Uber's value proposition is now you have all this information in front of your hand. And if they improved on that you know the guy, or you could even ask for the same guy over and over again through the app, that's an improvement. That's a value proposition they should articulate to their customers.
So I don't know whether you can see my screen and the Zoom on there.
Yeah.
It says, I mean, it's a completely new value proposition from what I shared earlier.
Yes.
It's together, keeping you securely connected wherever you are. So again, securely connected is something that was changed from what it was before, which is now great audio, so initially it was all about great audio, great video sharing, instant sharing. But now people really want to be connected securely, or keeping you connected wherever you are. So those are some of the value propositions, as you can see, have changed, even just for Zoom. Yeah.
Quick add is the reason this was adapted or changed. We went in the pandemic and people wanted to connect because they're working remotely. And then we had people Zoom bombing Zoom calls, right? Yeah. So secured, they addressed the security of people Zoom bombing, and then connected is because now we're in a pandemic and hey, people need to work and connect and talk, and they need a face-to-face, and they need it to be clear. That's the value proposition change, and that's the reason that drove that change.
Great. We've got a question from Wangeshi. What are some of the effective ways of getting to know the real needs of your clients? Well,
talking to your customers. They will tell you in a roundabout way what their needs are. But ask them how they're solving their problem and who they're using. For example, Zoom could have asked all of us, what are you using to connect to your customers, to connect to your teams? And we could say we're using Skype, we're using Teams, and then we're saying, so how's that going for you? And you say, well, I don't like Teams because of blah, 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 blah. Oh, I don't like Skype because if you're in some countries, the bandwidth doesn't let you see the person, or the audio is bad. So you tease out that information by asking them leading questions, open-ended questions that then give you the answers you're looking for. And as you're listening to the answers, you're listening for what they need and what experience they're looking for. And that experience tells you what benefits to now sell. And if you're developing an application or developing a product, now you know what to develop next. So Zoom figured guys want a secure network. They secured it to the point where even the Queen of England has had a Zoom call and was fine to do it on. That tells you the security level. Governments have worked off of Zoom because it's secure. They didn't go to WebEx, they didn't go to Teams, they went to Zoom.
Yeah. I mean, really, the best way to know the real problems is by asking and listening.
Yes.
So you need to ask your customers, and when you ask them, you need to listen.
Yes.
Because sometimes what we do is we ask them, and then the feedback comes back, and then we're not listening. We're just carrying on with whatever that we have and whatever our issues are, right?
Yes.
So yeah, so that's pretty much what it is.
Wangeshi
answered your question.
Yes, she's saying it takes a lot of courage, but remember, you're solving a problem for them. Right? Yeah. You're solving a problem for them. They want your help.
Customers love to be asked for feedback, right?
Yeah, yes, they do.
How was your experience? Was it good? Was it bad? If it was bad, that's also still something that you've asked.
It's actually good to get that.
Yeah.
So you know where to improve.
Yeah. I'm going to take one last question, which is Danielle asking, can you patent UVPs?
It's words. I don't think you can patent UVP. Consider Zoom painted that statement, connected and secure. And those are the key words. And actually think about it. It's the key word there that the customer hears, and it gives them security or certainty and confidence to buy from you, and removes objection. So when your sales team goes out to sell, they're having an easier time serving your products because you've made sure you've removed all the objections. And it's less, there's not much friction. When I tell a customer Zoom is a secure platform, you stay connected, you can easily share, and your order is clear, the images are clear. You can even do whiteboard sessions on Zoom. So the customer is listening to what they're able to do and what their experience is going to be, and easily then say, okay, I can buy this. I get this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we have come to an end of the webinar. We have gone 15 minutes past.
Yes.
But we want to appreciate each and every one of you. We appreciate your time. We appreciate your feedback. And it's a pleasure to actually keep bringing this to you. We've been doing this since 2020.
Yeah.
We've been doing this since 2020. So any of our old webinars, you'll be able to see them on our YouTube channel. Feel free to go there. Please do like, please do subscribe, and share it with other people that you feel that could be helpful to them as well, right?
Yeah.
So thank you very much. Really appreciate this. Yeah. Asante
Have a
sana.
wonderful evening.
Have a great afternoon, everyone.
Yeah.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Likewise.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Thank you too. Bye.
Don't forget to give us feedback, please. We need it. Remember, we said ask your customers. You're our customers right now. Please give us that feedback. It helps us.
We've given the
improve.
feedback.
Thank you so much, Jenny. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
It's so good to see you, Eunice.
Oh, hey,
And
Marion.
Rima.
Hey, Marion, how are you?
I'm good. I am good. I really enjoyed the session. Do you do it every week, every month? That's the question I wanted to ask.
Every month.
That's fair.
Every month. Every month. You can see the progression of when we start.